Alright, what's up guys? Good morning. Just about morning. I've had a really chill morning so far. What's up boys? Found a little hole in the fence it seems. Yeah, chill morning. It's probably going to continue to be a chill day. I'm going to try again going on some off-road. I'm actually going to try the other side of the route that I was going to try and take and see what it's like, see if there's access that way. So let's take a look, see what we can find. Oh, something is digging into my back, in my backpack. Bit chilly today. I'll tell you why it's a bit chilly. It's because I haven't got my jacket done all the way up. I will do that soon. That's better. Bit damp this morning. Okay, we're going down here. Not towards Keswick this time. Well, towards Keswick a lot of the way, but down this little lane, see where it can take us. Like I think I said, it should take us to the other end of that off-road bit that I tried to go down yesterday, but unfortunately it didn't look accessible. But let's see how accessible it is. I mean, it looked accessible physically. There were just off-putting signs and stuff that I didn't want to be a naughty boy. So let's see how it is on this side. It is marked on the Trans-Euro Trail, but whether it's allowed or not is another question. Whether it's changed, some walkers have decided that they want to complain and not allow motorbikes up there. I don't know. I also don't know how far I need to go up this road. So at some point we're going to do the old map check. Damn, what the hell? That's a fancy gate. I'd probably have to turn right here. Skiddaw via public footpath. Okay. Well, public footpath isn't right, but there's some fancy houses up here though. Fucking hell. Yeah, this is that road. This is that same road that goes across, so let's see what the crack is. I bet it will turn into... Whoop! Forgot that I was stopping myself from falling back by being in gear. Pulling the clutch, you fall backwards. Let's go. I don't know if it's gated further up. Holy crap. Some sort of spa or something. For sale, there you go. cheap. Why is there a speed bump there, man? What cars coming down here? Why are there speed bumps along here? That is the most random. I've never seen a speed bump outside of a town. Let alone on a random country road. Well, I'm guessing there's a gate up here or something. Well, people walk from here for sure. Public way. That's what the sign says. There's a footpath that goes to the left. And I think that path straight ahead. No worries. Well, we're gonna risk it. Just talking to the guy in the car there, and he has an OS map, and it says that it's a public road on the OS map, so I'm gonna give it a go. It's not very far anyway. Don't run in front of me. Okay, just run in front of me. Here we go, first off-road in Cumbria. Should probably put the bike in off. Oh, forgotten how to bloody change the mode. Haven't done it. Alright, off-road mode. Oh yeah, it's only a short little distance, but at least it's something. Another bloody gate, for fuck's sake. See, gates are annoying. Oops. Kind of ruins the flow of it, doesn't it, when there's a gate? Don't know how many gates there's going to be. The other question is, am I going the right way? Well, this has become less of a road for sure. One sec. It feels so wrong, because I know that it's frowned upon for motorcycles to be off-road in the UK. I really don't want to fall in these ruts. another gate to throw off the old flow. It's just to keep the sheeps in the right place though, really. Is that going to stay open for me? No, fantastic. Why is that steaming up? Thank you. Thank you. Oh God. It's definitely not used very much down this way. Thank you. Ugh. I think we're ending up where we were yesterday. Yep, we are. Here's that gate that we were at yesterday. Oh, I don't think I would have been able to come up here anyway. Fucking hell. Alright, how the fuck do I get the gate open without dropping the bike? Will it stay? Oh my God, how the fuck do I do this? Will it stay there? Nice. Alright, what does it say up here then? It just says, it's just signposted. There's no real clear indicators of this. It's on the Trans-Euro Trail map and that. So it doesn't say it's a footpath, so you have to assume you're allowed on it. Without, I mean, it was short but sweet, a bit of off-road. Ow, my knee. Let's just roll out of here. There we go. A tiny bit of off-road to a bit more confidence. I might need to turn on the ignition. And back to individual mode. I mean, really short and sweet. I mean, this road back down is pretty fun as well. Like I said, there's not a lot of it's kind of frowned upon to go off-road on a motorcycle or on a 4x4 or anything like that. It's kind of hard to find places you're actually allowed to go off-road and have a bit of fun without going to a motocross track. It's obviously very different also experience going on a motocross track to actually going across the country. I remember seeing that river. Oh yeah, I do, because I remember the bridge. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do more research into. I'm gonna have to do a trip along some of the Trans-Euro Trail in England, but especially I want to go into Europe. Yeah, maybe in the future we'll find more off-road adventures. The Trans-Euro Trail, there was more around the Lake District, but it's kind of retracing some of the steps I've already taken on the first day, and it kind of goes around towards the coast and back in, kind of around the edge of the lakes, but it goes through the passes that I went through on the first day, whether I can't remember, Hard Knot Pass and the other pass as well. Thank you. Yeah, I might just head up to Whinlatter Forest. I used to go mountain biking and grab some lunch. Oh, here's the junction. Oh, I just remembered I got to pull out on the A66 again, which was a pain in the arse yesterday. Here we are in Braithwaite then. It's the road that leads up to Whinlatter Forest. And we'll go to the, I think there's a cafe up there. And get some lunch. It's 1:30, so I've been mountain biking here many times. One time even, it was in May, and it started blooming snowing in May, which is pretty mental. It was quite an experience. I don't remember being that cold. I guess that's just me suppressing probably the feeling of it. Post-traumatic stress of it all. I mean, I've been bloody cold in Cumbria several times, mountain biking in the snow and stuff. My hands just get cold so easily and they just go numb. It's horrible. I'm gonna have to get some good winter motorcycle gloves so that I can continue riding through the winter months, and probably some more other winter gear like underlayers and some trousers and stuff. Yeah, the mountain biking here is pretty good. They you kind of go up to the top and get some pretty great views of the lakes below in Keswick. I think you actually go up on the right here, so this, actually that might not be true. That seems quite far, I don't know. But you go up into this forest basically, and then you descend as fast as you can, well in my case as fast as you can, or as fast as your abilities allow. I'm all about the downhill in mountain biking. I'm not a big fan of riding uphill. Tend to walk a lot of the way. I like going to uplifts, like Bike Park Wales and their uplift and stuff like that. But I haven't been mountain biking in years, properly anyway. Pre-pandemic, I guess. Yeah, it's up in these hills. This is a crossing for one of the mountain bike trails that we just went past. We should come up to the trail centre anytime soon. this on the right here, yeah. Here we are then. There's a motorcycle park there. I might just bung it next to it. I'm going to be able to get my bike out of this space though. Parking charges apply to all vehicles. What's the bloody pay machine then? Car park, paid for. I might just move the bike a bit closer to the cafe, to be honest. Can I get it out of this space though? That's the question. Fucks. Oh, it's definitely harder to push than my 125, Jesus Christ.
So unfortunately this clip does not have any audio, so it's back to voiceover Ed for a little bit. Ominously, this is also the last GoPro clip I took this trip. I've just had lunch, we're heading back out on the road, out Whinlatter. I found a cool looking route, a quiet little route. As I was looking at the map on my phone while I was having lunch, there was a cool little route that was going around. That would have ended up at Crummock Water and Buttermere Lakes. There was this tiny little road offshoot that would have sort of cut the corner, and that's where we're going to head down. I remember this is me pointing to the right because I was talking about the mountain biking in Whinlatter and how on the right you actually come down, the trail actually comes down on the right there and sweeps down. It's actually quite a scary bit because if you go over the berg, you're basically going to fall down the hill. And but yeah, that's what I was explaining there and what I was pointing at. So yeah, this is that awesome little road that I found on the map. We're heading down it now, and it started out as a really cool tiny little lane, local lane, heading down towards this river, and eventually we'll go up the other side and we'll end up on this not ridge but like the higher ground basically, and you can see some amazing views. I just love in these parts of England that you just find these tiny little lanes everywhere. You don't really get that when you go further down southeast, definitely not. Probably more in Wales and basically where it's a bit more hilly and mountainous. I'm sure there'll be some in the Highlands and the southwest in Devon and Cornwall, but yeah, we don't get that in the southeast. Not nearly as often anyway. But here's me innocently moving along this amazing little country road, innocent to what's about to happen. I just want to preface this before it happens, that before people judge me, stuff happens, man. People make mistakes. I know there's bigger to be people out there like on their high chair like I wouldn't have done that, like you're such an idiot. And yeah, well, I was an idiot, I'll admit that, but we make mistakes and it is what it is, and I'm nervous about sharing this clip because it is stupid and it caused me so much trouble, which I'll explain a little bit later in the video, the trouble that I went through. And but yeah, let's just see what happens. So yeah, I dropped my bike. The first time I've ever dropped my motorcycle, actually, that's a lie. I dropped my dirt bike when I was 16 and broke the clutch lever a couple of times. But this is like a different thing. This is a road bike. This is my transport. And Yes, I shouldn't have picked it up this way. I've never had to pick up a motorcycle before, especially one this heavy. And soon we will discover what has caused me all this grief, or what caused me all that grief, which is essentially the gear lever broke off. The pivot bolt of the gear lever snapped. No changing gears for me. I was basically stranded. I'll pass off back to a phone clip that I made later on, and we'll continue the story from there. Okay, so here's the situation. This is the next day after the clip where I broke my gear lever by dropping the bike. I still don't know how it happened. I'm hiding inside from the rain. The recovery service that I'm signed up to won't recover me because it's a personal accident, and I don't want to call my insurance to make a claim for such a stupid thing. It's one bolt that's sheared off that's holding the pivot point of the gear lever. So essentially, the recovery place had already authorized a service van to come out to take a look at the bike. So that's still coming out, but it's very much doubtful they'll be able to do anything. So I've all packed up my stuff. I haven't loaded onto the bike, obviously. I'm waiting for the recovery van, and when he says, which he will say most likely, that he can't fix it, I'm going to try and ride it home by changing gear by hand, which is really dodgy, but I might be able to set up in a way that wouldn't be too dodgy, and I'm going to be sitting in sixth on the motorway most of the time anyway, so we're going to see what we can do. So here we are a couple of months later. Now I'm editing this video. You might notice that it's not exactly summer anymore. It's now December 2nd. Anyone in Europe probably know how cold it is at the moment. We've got a new bike cover here. Got the bike out the first time since we put it in there a few weeks ago. All fixed up now, obviously, since it's a few months later. I mean, it's not all fixed up. But in the last clip, essentially, I was talking about riding at home and changing gears by hand. I didn't end up doing that. A bit of a wild idea when you think back to it, but the other options were call my insurance or hire a van or something and put it in the back of the van and drive it back. And that's exactly what I did, actually. I hobbled it to Penrith, the Enterprise car rental place in Penrith, and I hired a van. They had one van big enough to fit the bike in. They were amazing there. They got it sorted, one-way trip to Bury, the Bury branch, and they even helped me lift it into the back of the bloody van, which is legendary. There's no way I could have lifted it in by myself. So there was a little ramp to make it a little bit easier, but yeah, essentially I drove all the way back with it in the back of the van. Thankfully it happened the day before I was meant to leave home anyway, but I did change it by hand to get it to Penrith. So essentially the main thing that caused trouble is this bolt down here that holds the gear lever into the frame. It's sheared in half, and apparently this is a thing with these bikes in the Piaggio group, which Aprilia is part of. So is Moto Guzzi and Vespa, I think. This bolt is a thing. It's a failure point. So if you do drop the bike, this bolt snaps rather than other stuff breaking, I guess. For me, I'd much rather that the gear lever is malleable and it would bend, and I could just bend it back, than the bolt to snap and end up stranded like I was. I've actually got the original bolt left. The culprit, you can see it just sheared right as it goes into the frame, and these are red Loctited in, which means they're glued into the frame. So thankfully I actually had this booked in for its first service the week after I got back, and once I got back to Bury, I dropped it off the next morning at the dealer and had it serviced that week. And obviously they just had a few more things to fix. There was a couple of other things that broke. One thing I haven't sorted yet, which is the handguard. Snapped off, which is pretty standard for for dropping the bike if you got handguards that are just plastic. There's nothing to them. You can see on the other side it's just plastic. You can get the reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm going to get some decent handguards that are proper metal, structural kind of thing. And when I do drop the bike again, it'll take more of a hit basically, and it'll probably save more. Also save the clutch lever, which broke. Again, a pretty standard thing. If you drop your bike without, or in certain ways, you'll break your clutch lever, which is what I did to my dirt bike a couple of times. The clutch lever was actually still usable. It was just it was snapped off kind of here. Sorry, back camera work. And it was bent a bit, but again, that's quite an easy fix. But yeah, obviously costed me a bit more money than expected. A couple of hundred. I can't remember how much actually the van was to rent. Maybe 180 or something like that. It is what it is. It's just money at the end of the day. Got me home safe rather than riding. What you can see is that this is still attached here. So I tried to strap the gear lever up so it was up by my thigh, and so I could yank it. So I could yank it like that to change gear, and that was my plan. But after riding to Penrith, I was like, this is not going to work for 6 hours home. So I did the smart thing, and I rode, or I didn't ride home, I got a van home. But yeah, that's the story. It's winter now. I've recorded another video which will be coming out at some point on the bike, but I doubt I'll be riding much in this weather. But yeah, thanks for watching the series, and it's a bit of an anticlimactic, or maybe it is climactic end with me breaking my bike. But yeah, thanks for subscribing and watching and commenting. I've enjoyed the reception to it, and here's to the next trips. Here's to the more riding next year, more riding with my dad as well, hopefully. Well, I mean, I will be riding more with my dad. We'll see what we do, and yeah, see you next time.